money is not success. Happiness is. Now, if you happen to have a very, very well-paying job and you love it and it makes you happy, you're a success. If you are making minimum wage, but you love it and you're able to support yourself, you're a success. It really is all about living within your means and being happy, following what your passion is, and just pursuing that your whole life. Now, things change over the time. It's always important to revisit your goals and what's important to you. But such a huge, huge part of success is your happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that we have experienced ourselves with Chris in our own personal path. And at some point we have this, job that in a corporation making good money. And we were like, in my case, I was just trying to be the highest and the fastest that I can get in my career. And very quickly, I found out that I was not being happy. So because I wasn't feeling happy with what I was doing, I wasn't feeling successful. So definitely following our passions, what we are passionate about is what defines success for anybody truly. And also aligning to our values, making sure that those important things that whatever that you make important to yourself, that you're putting those things first, that is what also make you feel successful. Because when you're aligning to those values, to what is important to you, then you feel that you are advancing in life on whatever it is that you are setting your mind to.
And we were watching a great documentary the other day on minimalism, and they were talking about, when people go to buy a house, they go, okay, well, I can afford, $500,000 house. So they go out and they look for a house that they can, the biggest house, the nicest house they can afford for $500,000. They don't have $500,000 laying around. They can get approved for that from a bank, which they're going to owe for the next 3 decades or so, 15 years if you get an accelerated mortgage. But you living within your means, and just, do you need all those rooms, all that space? The answer is probably no.
Right.
The majority of your rooms in your house don't usually get used unless you're in a small apartment or you're in a studio or 1 bedroom. But live within your means, and you'll find that you have more resources to travel more, to engage in hobbies, or just to give to charities, and which is that's a whole other topic, but that's such an incredibly fulfilling feeling. But we'll get to that actually in a little bit later this episode.
Yeah, and one of the things, and what we want to emphasize here is the fact that success, it's not about how much monetarily you have or how much possessions you have. Success is how many, it can be experiences, or it can be anything that collectively makes you happy. That's what truly success is. And we have read it from many different books and many people that have been there, done that, right? That have achieved that, in quotes, success that we think society tends to think that is having the best car, the best house, the best job, whatever it is. When they have gotten there, they have said, this is not it. This really doesn't fulfill. If you are passionate about it, and if you are, that's something that you really want and it brings you happiness, then good, that's success to you. But if it's really not fulfilling those values in your life and that passion in your life, then you're not going to feel successful.
And it's so important to make a course correction too, because how many years of your life that you're never going to get back were you wasting going down that wrong road?
Right.
Even if you have to take a pay cut, if it's something that you prefer to do it. When I went full-time with my video production company, I had it on the side for like a decade, and I finally got so busy I couldn't keep up with it. When I went full-time with Empire Studios, I took a pay cut for my well-paying corporate job for the first year and a half, and then it surpassed that. But I was the happiest I've ever been in that first year too, like just looking at it from like a monetary perspective. I was making less, had a lot less benefits, we were self-employed, but I was so happy and fulfilled. It was a lot of risk. So that kind of balanced it out, but overall, I was following my passions, and I was happy, and
right.
I was a success.
And I think that aligns as well with fulfilling the purpose for which you were created, right? Like fulfilling a calling. Everybody was created with something specific to do on this earth, and when you are able to find that where that is, whatever that is, it's going to connect with your passion. Absolutely. And then when you start doing that you're passionate about all the time, you're going to feel so happy, so joyful,